you for inviting me to tea.
It's nice.
This
Welcome.
is our tea. Or we should do that. Aren't you supposed to lift your pinky? Do you know how to do it properly? Like the
no,
royal? Neither do I. Okay.
I end up doing it kind of like America. Oh no, let's do it like we're in England. It's like cold outside, you know. I think this is now just so you could say, you know, Savannah Guthrie appeared at the Carlisle.
That's right.
Hotel.
I'm hoping it will enhance my reputation.
No, look, dump this stuff. Get your own thing. It's just called Savannah at the Carlisle. Joining Savannah at Carlisle.
Having tea with Tom.
Come on.
I know. Listen, I'm signed up. Are you signed up with me? You've already been my co-anchor once.
Listen. You and I, we have like a road show that we could do now.
We have a shtick.
Well, I know we've been to Indianapolis.
Yes, we have.
We've been to D.C. a couple of times.
Many
right?
times,
Where
yes.
do you want to go?
I don't know. Can it be somewhere warm? I don't know, like Savannah and Tom tour great spa locations of the world.
All right, that's it. Cut to, yeah. How about that? Us laying on just, you know.
Yeah.
Let's do a shot of us. We're getting massages. And the camera's underneath those holes where you put your
yes,
face.
It's very
and we
flattering.
could just talk to each other. Oh, it'd be very flattering.
We could chat. Well, you actually...
Crack staff?
I know,
Can you get on that? They're waving over there.
Bahamas first.
They're waving over there.
I mean, you actually, you meditate, right?
I do.
You're very much on the wellness path. I can learn a thing from you.
Okay, all right. You got to maintain that temple, Savannah. You got to take care of the mind. I've only been meditating. You know who taught I should stop meditating?
Who?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Really?
Yeah, I met Jerry. It's a famous people's club. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Tom. We don't really know each other that much.
I'm not ever invited.
And I said, so Tom, what are you up to? And I said, well, I've been working. I'm taking a year off. Really? You're taking a year off? Why would you take a year off? You know, they're comedians. So why would you take a year off? I said, well, I'm just really tired. I've been working like 6 years. Well, don't you meditate? And I said, no, I do not. I'm not Goldie Hawn. I don't wear yoga pants, and I don't, have wind chimes in my. You've got to. I've been doing it since college. I'm going to teach. I'm going to have you taught how to. And so he did. He put me together with his teacher, and it's a odd, easy, life-changing thing. And should everybody do it? Sure, why not?
Okay, let's talk about your new project. Did you like getting in touch with your inner crank?
Hey, Otto.
No. Don't you dare let that little rat dog piss on my walkway again. Get out of here. Listen, everybody has one. And my brat kids will probably tell you, when is Dad not in charge with his inner crank?
See, no, wait, I have to stop right there because you are known by reputation and experience as the nicest person
Well, I
in
like
America.
to use the word fascinating as opposed to nice. I am one of the more fascinating people. But listen, we have all been stuck in traffic, right? And someone up ahead does not use their turn signal, right? And if they would just do that common courtesy, everybody would know a little bit better. And then you won't end up swearing, a blue streak at the people who did not use their left turn signal. Or, say for example, you pick up a remote to your audio-visual system at home, and you press menu, and you press input, and you press select, and you do all those things, and it never, ever, ever works. I'm going to tell you something right now. I once was trying to get a DVD to play, and I kept pressing all the buttons. And you know what the DVD told me? Like literally it said goodbye. It said goodbye. And I was just trying to play, like Citizen Kane or something like that. So when that stuff happens, I do, in fact, go absolutely berserk, vocally for a long time.
So you do. You have a dark side.
It is when I begin any conversation with this, let me get this straight. Oh, I'm gone.
Oh.
I mean, I'm already gone. Staff, does that not happen on occasion?
Staff.
Yeah, they're over there, so rolling their eyes. Happens all the time. Why would it work for me? Isn't that another one I always say?
Yeah.
Why would it work for me? A Bluetooth, a printer thing, a key in a lock, a coffee maker. Why would it work for me? It never does.
I'm feeling your grouchiness. You've turned me into a believer.
I'm ramping up here.
Staff,
I'm ramping
I feel
up,
sorry
Savannah.
for you.
See, this is what happens.
It is true, though, that there have been whole profiles written about what a good guy you are.
Yeah, well, look, I'm a nice, I wake up happy.
You are a nice guy. People always ask me.
I cut people a lot of slack, and listen, it's all a self-defense mechanism to keep myself entertained.
Yeah.
I'm very selfish in that regard.
When people ask me if you're really so nice, I say no. But I'm just trying to enhance your reputation.
Could you say something other than, well, he's very professional, be very precise. He lives his life with a lot of fidelity. Can you say something like that?
I say he is loving and warm to all he
That's
encounters.
much better than the NICE word, because that makes me sound like a pushover.
I know. I want you to have that edge.
I am not a pushover.
No, edge. And I think Otto has some edge, and I was glad to see you get out that inner grumpiness.
Right, but yeah, listen, I wish I had lived a life where people would truly fear me, but I've tried to come in like angry. I just make everybody laugh. So, you know, hey, let me get this straight. You're so funny. I can never get across that barrier.
Tell me about what made you want to do this movie. I heard that you'd read the book, and then you saw.
Well, actually, we saw the foreign film first. It was about 5 or 6 years ago.
You just watch a lot of Swedish movies?
Well, the foreign films at the time, at the end of the year, because you know sometimes you get like packs. As a matter of fact, the Academy used to send out, here are the 5 foreign films, and the foreign films are always interesting because they're off the cuff. They're usually about another culture that we're not supremely, familiar with. You know, Asia, countries from Africa. And this was Sweden. You think you know everything about Sweden. And the movie is Man Called Otto, which is from the book. And that he was railing against sort of like the way certain societies work, particularly in the Nordic countries. That was all over in spades, and that really translates to the United States in a lot of ways. You can fight the system. You can be angry against the system. But there was a bigger element to it that I thought this was a guy who has no faith in the future, you know, meaning that he can rely on nobody. He's kind of like running the victim narrative. These people let me down, and those people across the street are no good, and no one looks after this except I'm the only one that cares. Yeah. Every time the phone rings, you know, we did that thing. Remember that one phone robot that was calling up, and a lady said, "Hello, hi, can you hear me?"
Oh, the robocall.
That one.
Yes.
You know, we put that in because you can't even pick up your phone innocently anymore without being manipulated by, you know, our corporate overlords.
He disconnects the service after that scene.
Yeah, right after he starts yelling over the thing. So that's where he is. That I felt that Otto. There's a great performance by a fabulous Swedish actor named Rolf Lassgård who played Ove. I said, there has already been an Ove. I will call this guy. We will be Otto. I will be Otto. There's so many categories in American life right now of us versus them, plus or minus, on the right side, on the rock side, in favor. And I thought that was what that we could really tear up an examination of that sort of theme. Because look, at the end of the day, a movie has to live up to the theme that's examining, that it is examining. And you know, 2 hours is a long time to invest in this case, a man who has faith in nobody but himself.
But it's not, I mean, it is, there are moments where you just cringe because Otto's so grumpy and so mean.
He's
You're
so
like,
right.
Why can't you just say thank you to that lovely lady across the street?
Oh,
you know?
I get that.
Well, we wanted to properly introduce ourselves because, you know, we're going to be neighbors and everything, so.
Okay. Bye.
Then you learn that at the bottom of it, like everyone, he has a story and a perspective, grief and hopelessness and loneliness.
This is the thing that I think comes, and I must say that this is what cinema does for me as a moviegoer, is that you learn other people's stories. And no one is a stranger once you know their story. Everybody's a stranger if you jump to the stereotype of who they are and what they want and what they like. But as soon as you learn a little bit about a neighbor or the history of somebody, well, guess what? You end up saying, well, I've kind of been through that same sort of thing myself, so maybe we actually have some things in common. Granted, he has lost a number of common, polite discourse. He does not know how to say thank you. No. He needs how to say, you know, well, I have to go. That's not the same thing.
He's not really fit for polite society.
No. No.
But he changes.
Well, like everybody does, he changes because some form of, you know, cyclone hits town in the course of his neighbor Marisol, who comes from a different culture, that speaks a different language, that is loud and noisy and doesn't know what the rules are. But if you look at them, they have an awful lot of things in common. And there's a moment where the very first time we met in the film, Otto comes running out of his house saying, they're trying to back up a trailer, you know, and he comes out, what in the hell is he trying to do? And Mariana, she says, I know, that's what I've been saying. So actually, the first time they meet, they agree on how crazy something is. And that is actually a hint to how much they have in common. She is extremely forceful in a proactive kind of way, and he's extremely forceful in a defensive kind of way.
They're both truth tellers in a certain way.
Hello, I called it Hurricane Marisol. It's like, you know, that thing that happens when like natural disasters hit a neighborhood. Everybody comes out.
Yeah.
Everybody starts cleaning up. Everybody starts looking after each other. It's almost unfortunate that it requires that for a neighborhood in order to get start looking after each other. But there is something incredibly powerful, and not to, in a lot of ways, not to the natural inclinations of an awful lot of people, and comes an awful lot of Americans, to go across the street, knock on the door, and say, "You okay over here?" And the opposite, the other thing, the complement to that is knock on the door and say, "Hey, can you help me with something right now?" Soon as that starts happening on a city block or in your neighborhood on a street, extraordinary things happen.
It's a big theme, the found family, the family that not that you're born with, but the family you choose.
That's exactly right, because you don't get to choose.
It's like I won the lottery.
You did. Ding, 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 ding.
Did I get an
bang
egg?
the teacup. You have nailed it. You have nailed it. Everything after, you know, we marry the people we love. Our family is not a choice. We are born into it. But everything else after that is a choice, and it is what we choose to do, how we choose to look after our stuff, how we choose to treat essentially the people that live within 100 yards of you. That's where you get into the I think the give and take of what is your definition of a quality of life? Is it to belong to something bigger than yourself, or is it your property and your property only, and screw everybody else? Can I say screw on the Today Show?
Oh, you sure can.
What I mean is you take a thing and you screw it in.
Let's talk about your son Truman. This is his first acting role. Were you kind of blown away at how he carried that part? I know you're biased, but I mean, he really carried it.
You have two kids, and you have already told me that they're both children of the Renaissance. They can do anything they can possibly imagine, because the most brilliant kids on the planet Earth. Is that right?
Well,
I got news for you. No, they're not. My kids are. They're all four of them are just absolutely. All my kids are artists in these odd, kind of like fascinating ways. And Truman, who is either burdened or blessed by resembling myself at the same age as him. He's 26, and when I was 26, we resembled we looked an awful lot alike. And Mark Forster, our fabulous director, just says, you know what? It's always so fake in order to get somebody else to come in and play you, because they never like to look at it. Could maybe Truman do this? And we said Truman has no desire to be an actor. He is behind the camera. He's actually in the union. He's been camera utility. He has been a cinematographer, and that's what he wants to do. But they met and they talked, and we said, well, I'm going to stand back from this. I'm not going to put any pressure on anybody. And when our son said, I don't know if I want to do this or not. It might be great. We said, well, the experience is incredible. Just understand, you know, this is not autographs and sunglasses, man. This is showing up and hitting the mark and finding the truth and combating the biggest barrier, I think, to being an artist, being an actor, is to combat self-consciousness. And that doesn't come naturally. You know, that can come after time.
Did you give him any tips?
No.
Did he ask for any?
No. I said, dude, there's only one way to do this, and that's by way of your instinct. We compared notes on the character, but he's the younger me, so I was watching him. I said one thing: lead with your knuckles. That's the only, and whatever that means.
What does that mean?
Well, it means when you storm off and you're angry, you just turn your knuckles out to the front. Yeah, I don't know what that meant.
That's very practical. I thought you were going to go deep. I thought that was like a metaphor for something.
Well, it alters your body.
Yeah.
It alters the way you storm off, and actually it is kind of deep. You end up searching for all these things that are just going to turn you into the character.
On the days that he shot, would you go and watch?
No, I didn't watch a thing. There was one day where he was in the shot before I was, and we said, hey, how's it going? Hey, I got the morning off. That's about all I said. But there was one day when we were on the same set, because he was a reflection in a thing. And two things have to go on. One is I have to be occupied only with what I'm doing as old Otto. But then young Otto was there, and on the periphery, here is, here's our son, going about it. You got to treat him as a regular actor, but at the same time, I remember driving him in carpool when he was 7 years old.
Yeah.
So that crosses your mind.
And it's his first role. I mean, I know how I feel when my daughter does the 5-year-old's Matilda. I'm sitting there like hoping she's gonna hit that line.
Yeah.
Did you feel nervous for him or scared?
Yes, but there's only one way to do it, and that is to wrestle the beast.
Yeah.
I saw him. Look, he played Danny Zuko in Grease in junior high school. I was more nervous for him for that than I was in the movie. Because the good thing about a movie is, hey, if it's no good, it's not going to be in the movie. They will cut around you. Maybe I did. I might have said that too.
Oh, that's comforting.
Well, no, because
don't worry, they'll just cut your part out.
No, it's actually said you don't.
You are cranky.
You don't have to. You don't have to worry because if it stinks, it won't be in the movie.
Oh.
They'll only use the good parts.
Okay.
If you're lucky. But that's also kind of like a sentence as well. But it is, hey, let go. Just let go. Because if it's lousy, the director won't use it. Is that a good thing to say to anybody in a movie? I don't know.
When I interview him, I'll ask him.
Okay.
How was your father's advice?
I don't know. I actually, maybe I said this stuff or not. Maybe I was a benevolent presence or not. I have no idea.
It's a family affair because Rita is the executive producer as well.
No, she's the on-set producer.
Okay.
She was there dealing with like budget phone calls.
Oh, really?
Putting out fires and so I said, I think producing is always, maybe your staff will know this. Producing anything is doing one of two things. You call somebody up and beg them to do something they don't want to do. Please, please, please do this. Please do it. Please do it. Please be on time. Please do it. That's one phone call. The other phone call that says, that thing you wanted to do? Well, you don't get to do that. No, I'm not going to no, you can't do it. No, we're not going to do it. It's a horrible job. My wife loves it. Rita loves it. Between that and writing and performing the song that's over that's actually one of on the short list for the thing. That's what she lives for. But she was very nervous about. You're going to talk to her? I don't know if you are.
I don't think so.
Can
you get me an interview?
She was nervous. I'll see what. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I control.
I'll take her and Truman.
I control that. Yeah. I do that. She wasn't sure she wanted to do that because the director makes that final choice, and that could have been a very uncomfortable thing if he didn't like the song.
Well, they'll just cut you out if they don't like it. That's what my friend told me.
I hope that happens on the Today Show too. If it's
I
not
wish
a
it
great
would.
moment, they'll cut it out.
No, it's live.
Cut to the weather.
Just like
is
this.
not live.
This isn't.
Okay. Well.
No, we would put you on an 8-second delay in case you're gonna.
Hey,
curse.
why? Because I'm so cranky.
In case you might say screw or
might say
something that we'd have to
screw
bleep
somebody.
out.
By the way, if you did that, what would be wrong with that?
What, cutting it out?
Just bleep somebody. Just bleep, 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 bleep.
We've had. I think we've bleeped from time to time.
Oh, really?
But not for me, I don't think. Well, I might have once. But anyway, we digress.
Oh, well, I'll ask your crack stuff.
One of your co-stars is a scruffy cat.
Schmegel the cat. I said right off the bat, you guys are insane to make this a cat. You're not taking over my bed. Cats are untrainable. Make it a dog, man. Dogs learn everything. Dogs will look at you when you're on the spot. Cats will only do exactly what they want to do. And it was true with Schmegel. It just so happened that he didn't mind making a movie after a while. He fled the set a couple of times in which everybody just freezes. And the animal folks say, they coast it back. But other times he laid right where he wanted to lay and looked at me the way he wanted to look at me. And he's a cat.
Diva, I think you've answered my question, which I was afraid would divide America. Tom Hanks, cat person or dog person?
Oh, I like him. Well, we had a dog. The only reason we
now you're stammering. I know it's a very difficult question.
But screw this.
Bird.
It just so happens I'm married to somebody who is allergic to cats.
Okay.
So that takes the cat out of my responsibility.
Okay.
And we do have had plenty of dogs. I happen to enjoy them both, and we probably lived in enough places we could have kept them separated. But with a lady allergic to cats, that's that.
Well,
Saved
by the bell.
Schmegel, and you can see Schmegel Bagel. There are plenty of times where I got to this place where an arm up underneath, and he's hanging there like that.
Yeah.
He seemed to be very, very comfortable in my hands.
Yeah,
in my arms,
and you
which
comfortable
I
with
like.
Schmegel as well.
Oh, I love Schmegel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good kitty cat.
We've bonded over the years over Hidden Heroes and helping veterans. I hear that you have a coffee.
Yes.
For veterans.
Yes.
Hanks. Is
Right.
Hanks Coffee?
H-A-N-X. Yes.
H-A-N-X. Is it
It is.
a shot of
You have.
a shot of caffeine, or is it smooth and kind
I find
like
that
the real
there's
Tom
nothing.
Hanks?
Taking my cue from corporate America, I find that there's nothing wrong with trying to get people just to try just once a legal addictive stimulant
Yes.
that tastes good and that they might want to do it again. It is. I've worked with some really great, fabulous coffee roasters and suppliers down in Little Rock, Arkansas. And it is of coffee. Eventually it will be, right now it's direct to consumers, but every single penny goes to support various veterans organizations.
I like that. Why the coffee business? It
'Cause
feels like every other celebrity's in some kind of alcohol business.
Well, okay, I don't want to be responsible for that. I would like to be responsible for people waking up and enjoying some good conversation with a cup of good fresh Joe. Various flavors, so, you know, if you want to get exotic, you can, but then if you just want a good solid blast of Morning Joe, I happen to like a little malt in my coffee. And the desire is just, look, you're going to buy coffee, right? Well, you know, sample ours. It's because I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I've always wanted. Hey, that's good coffee. That's what it'll do for you.
He never has a second cup at home.
I'm going to tell you right now, Savannah Guthrie. If a doctor said to me, Tom, you have to give up coffee, otherwise it's going to cost you your life, I would say, bye-bye, because I am not living without a good cup of coffee.
100%. I have a friend at work who quit caffeine, and I said, why? Why would you take away one of life's simple pleasures?
Hello, that's like saying you shall never have spaghetti again. Look, I'm not going to live on spaghetti, okay, but I'm going to have it on occasion.
How do I find that coffee?
Oh, you just go to hanksforourtroops.something. Right?
You're terrible at this.
Listen, I'm not a corporate sponsor. I'm just a guy that invented it. It's a totally different thing. They invented, yes. Yeah. I invented this coffee.
You invented coffee.
You see.
Not only is he nice, he invented coffee. What can't you do?
I invented the idea of getting up in the morning and having a cup of coffee.
Oh my God, on this shift, I need
copyright.
it. Are you the guy that bought the espresso machine for the White House press corps?
Yeah, I've been doing that for a few years.
Oh, it's so nice. It goes back to my days.
Is it still there? We should find.
Well, I
does
haven't
it still
been there
work?
in a while. It did, but that was I left in 2011.
I think we've done it like 3 times down there
so
because
nice.
of the way it visited back.
Well, now you should send Hank's coffee.
Hello.
Okay, just saying.
It's all done. Hanks for our troops.
Thanks for our troops. Yes. I get it, like Hanks, like thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry,
right.
I'm a little slow, but I got it now.
Okay.
Woo.
Well, you've been up since 4:30 in the morning.
4.
When do you first see your children?
In the afternoon when I pick them up from school.
Oh my!
I'm not going to wake them up at that hour. My husband would kill me.
Are you not sleeping in the car waiting for them to come out?
Yeah, but then I have a whole routine now, and I try to like go home and take a power nap, and then I have another cup of coffee. Yeah. Thank you for doing this.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Honey, that is great coffee.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.